My definition of communism is a system that kills humanity in men. They succeeded in that, in killing that feeling of caring for the other people. Family for Armenians came first. They would sacrifice everything for the family in the past.
Armenia is an extraordinary Transcaucasian country lying just south of the great mountain range of the Caucasus and fronting the northwestern extremity of Asia, a land marked by evidence of human habitation going back many thousands of years. It is here that, according to legend, Noah's Ark came to rest on the peak of Holy Mount Ararat. Armenia was also the first country to adopt Christianity as early as 315 AD. But it is also a country of great suffering, crushed and defeated over the centuries by powerful neighbors, Persia, the Roman and Ottoman empires, and finally the Soviet regime. A victim of genocide when Turks murdered around 1.5 million Armenians in 1915 to 1923, today a clear majority live beyond Armenia's borders.
I was born in Aleppo, lived between Syria and Lebanon. And since these two countries were French mandate, so in the schools, it was the French program that we followed. I spoke Armenian in the family, and I spoke also Turkish in the family, because both my parents came from a city in Turkey, Marash. So it was Turkish at home, Armenian in the school, and with the French program.
When young Arusiak attended school, Armenia was ruled by an oppressive communist regime. After the First World War, Armenia declared independence, but enjoyed it for a mere 2 years. As early as 1920, part of Armenia was taken over by the Turks, whilst the rest was incorporated into the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Armenia's Apostolic Church was first persecuted and then closely supervised, whilst the Catholic Church was liquidated and all its priests either deported to Siberia or murdered.
My vocation, I would say, began at age 12. Then later on, at age 16, 17, it started to kind of stumble, you would say, because I fell in love with a boy, and it was a very, very difficult decision at the time to make. All the neighbors would say we were 4 girls in the family. The other 3 would become religious, but not this one. So it so happened that I was the naughty one. I could never silence the voice that was in me, calling me to religious life. I came to visit Armenia in 1976, and I saw the misery in the country.
Countries incorporated into the USSR suffered a far harsher regime than countries allowed even a modicum of independence. Nobody could stand up for countries such as Armenia. To survive, people had to think and behave as the authorities dictated. People became objects whose sole aim in life was production. The whole economy was geared not to meeting the needs of its citizens, but rather to building a military power. Even food wasn't freely available to buy, but had to be fought for.
In front of the hotel window, there was a grocery place where they were selling tomato, cucumbers. And from 4 a.m., there used to be a line, like maybe half a kilometer long line, people who wanted to buy something. I got in line at 5:30 a.m. I said, I like to see what it is to get in this line. And we approached. There were 7 people left before me. Suddenly, the window closed, and he said, for today, no more. You have to come back tomorrow. I said, how many days have you been coming? They said, if you really want to have something, you have to start at 4 a.m. But sometimes they said, we don't get up early, we're tired. You see what happened? We came at 5 and we couldn't buy anything. Now we have to go to another place and see if we can find something there. And I said, would you take me with you? I used to say, well, I am born an Armenian. Then I said, my ideal is Christ. The way he has been so close to his people, then I have to be very close to my people.
The nuns look after several hundred poverty-stricken families, otherwise unable to support themselves on a regular basis. Sometimes it's only about providing for their survival.
May I? Good afternoon, child. How are you?
I'm well.
Is Mummy at home?
Yes.
Yes? Where is she? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, please take a seat over here. Hey, you. Come. How are you? Well? Yes, you have grown up into a good boy. Geredsik, for example, today, what did you eat for lunch? What did the children have for lunch today? Nothing. I simply heated this. You had nothing to eat this morning? No. You haven't eaten anything up to now? No, only bread. What will you cook for tomorrow? For tomorrow? Nothing.
Today in Armenia, the poverty level is very, very high. And I think maybe during Soviet times we didn't have the starving people. But today we have a starving people. During Soviet times, their salaries were very low, but people could survive.
Armenia regained its independence following the collapse of the USSR in 1991. Nonetheless, the poverty inherited from communist times intensified. Unemployment grew and today stands at nearly 90%. There are precious few signs of any improvement anytime soon, whilst in the meantime, empty factories decay and fall into ruin.
During communism, who cared for values? Religious values were completely put aside.